How's it going, Mets fans? It's your guy, Wardy, and as you guys can see, I'm currently out of town right now enjoying a nice birthday weekend on my end. Thank you guys all so much in advance for the birthday wishes from yesterday and today continuing forward. I'm out of town at Ocean City, Maryland right now, but I have to give a quick recap and a quick breakdown of the Metsies taking down and taking care of business in Southside against the White Sox yet again, this time scoring at least 5 runs yet again for the second straight game, a series victory in this one, and now the Mets are just 2 games behind the Atlanta Braves for that third wildcard spot. Just a couple days ago, we were fearing that the Mets are going to find themselves in a position at least 5 games out of a spot. That was not the case, thankfully, with a huge series victory against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Fast forward now into this series here that we have against a lesser opponent, to say the least, and the White Sox. The Mets are taking care of business. They look for the series sweep and the biggest pitching matchup by far this weekend. We got Sunday matinee matchup between the Samoan Southpaw Sean Manaea and Garrett Crochet. I cannot wait to see you guys all there. We will be live for our usual post-game coverage when that happens. But let me see those W spam down below in the comments, everybody. Smash a like and subscribe button as you first chime into our latest breakdown here in Metsland for our latest post-game, not just reaction, recap, but really just an excitement level that I want to get into with all of you right now, because the Mets, just like that, are now just 2 games behind the Atlanta Braves, and we have some key guys to thank today, headlined by Pete Alonso with a fantastic day at the plate with at least 2 hits, including his 30th home run of the season. What made it even better? Jesse Winker going back-to-back with Alonso, Polar Bear Pete, Winky going back-to-back. Jesse is finding a groove, to say the least. A massive 3+ hit game here for the Mets. Another 3+ hit game, which is what we love to see for Jesse Winker, including a towering shot, including an RBI single as well. What are we not loving with Jesse Winker? So many fans a couple weeks into the post-trade deadline saying, Wardy, the Mets, Jesse Winker, Oscar Brosman, failed deadline. Now what do we see? Jesse Winker with a 320 or so average with the Mets right now, with north of a 800 OPS. It has skyrocketed over the past couple days, including the nice home run helping his way in that front. The power hadn't been as much there with Jesse earlier on, but has picked up as of late. Another multi-hit game for him, which was absolutely massive. Starling Marte, who of course is a liability in right field. That's why Jeff McNeil had to do everything in his power to try to make sure that Starling Marte found that ball late in right field that we saw throughout the ball game. Thankfully, Marte had the catch there, but Marte also drove in a run, which was fantastic to see. The Mets collectively as a whole, the lineup, I really liked it today. I love the depth that Mendoza threw out there with this. I would like to see this kind of lineup configuration continue for the Mets. We'll see how it looks there tomorrow against Garrett Crochet. It's going to be a big matchup against one of the best southpaws, if not the best true flame-throwing southpaw. So deadly, so nasty when he is healthy and right in Garrett Crochet. But for the Mets to secure this series victory is massive enough. And now you have Jose Quintana facing his former club there in Southside in the Chicago White Sox. And this was another underwhelming Jose Quintana start. When you look at the line itself, if you didn't watch the game, yes, you got 5+ innings or so of 1 earned run ball. There was more than 1 run allowed because of defense that was out of his control due to errors. However, doesn't change the fact that Jose Quintana did not have the best outing. Had to work some Houdini magic out of some jams. Also had some luck on his side. Wasn't a terrible outing by any stretch for Jose Quintana, but also wasn't the sharpest. And that's one of those where we can look at it and just say, yeah, if he's going to kind of have those hiccups and can't go deep here against the Chicago White Sox, what are we going to get down the stretch here for Jose Quintana with less than 30 games now to play? A couple of huge starts that he's going to be slotted to pitch against, whether that's going to be the Phillies, where the Mets and the Phillies match up 7 times that we're going to see in the month of September here, which begins tomorrow. We're going to be talking about those September call-ups in a second here, or whether it's against the final series of the Atlanta Braves. Either way, what we know here with the New York Mets is a secure series win was not only vital and needed, but now they need to take things a step further and secure that series sweep tomorrow. Usually series sweeps aren't something that I'm preaching and longing for. You always hope for them as fans, but you don't normally expect them. But in the case of the White Sox, a 30 and 100+ loss team, there is really no excuses not to win this entire series. Garrett Crochet might have something to say about that tomorrow in the Sunday matchup, so we will see. But until then, let's also talk about not only this great victory for the Mets, where you had Oscar Brosman, Phil Maton, Ryan Stankham, and others all getting the job done with scoreless innings there, but what we were able to see on the update side, which is very exciting as well. Paul Blackburn will be beginning a rehab assignment there there sooner rather than later. I believe Carlos Mendoza said it'll be Tuesday, barring any changes. Don't quote me on that, though. Just make sure you guys double check the rest and why. And I also did see earlier today that Luis Angel Acuna is still leading the way as the call-up. However, Carlos Mendoza, who already made the decision that Alex Young is going to be the lefty reliever called up when the rosters expand tomorrow, did not give a definitive answer, at least at the time of me recording this video, as to who that offensive acquisition is going to be. I think one of the reasons as to why it hasn't been as definitive as Acuna initially was at 48 or 72 hours ago is Drew Gilbert keeps continuing to play fantastic baseball. 4 home runs over his past 8 games or so that we saw over the past, north of 2 weeks. He has played really good baseball, turning things on after dealing with a hamstring injury that had him out for the entire season. For those that don't know, Drew Gilbert is the Mets' top offensive prospect, not named Jet Williams, who's continuing to ramp up now in the minor leagues with the Rummel Ponies. Drew Gilbert, who absolutely torches baseballs, a lightning rod bat with a charismatic personality that would bode so well in Queens. Either him or Luis Angel Acuna, who can be an infield demon for you, a speed demon rather, and a guy that can, of course, not only steal bags, but handle whether it's shortstop or second base without a problem late in the ball game for defensive matchups, things along those lines, or just simply as your pinch runner. If you really want to be your Billy Hamilton, Terrence Score type acquisition, he can be that for you in the interim and see what that bat provides, if anything. It won't be anything like his brother Ronald when it comes to the power consistently, but you will get the speed and you will surely get a lot of that athleticism. Mets securing this series victory was massive. They got to get this series sweep tomorrow. It is so vital right now. If the Braves drop their next game, the Mets are just one game within reach of this thing, and just like that, what felt like the Mets season could have been over, the nail was in the coffin less than a week ago. Just like that, in a typical Metsian fashion, a 162 season, they are right back in the thick of things. That's going to be it for the WardyNYM Mets postgame recap presented by BetUS. Make sure to check them out by clicking that link down below in the description. That way you too get a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. Hype me up, baby. Continue to spam those W's in the comments down below. Let me know your biggest takeaway from this Mets matchup where they scored at least 5 runs, getting another big victory, a key victory here against the Chicago White Sox. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Greatly appreciate you all. Stay tuned for our continued post-game coverage as I will have it out there, and not only live format on YouTube and on X, but you guys will also be able to check it out wherever you get your audio podcasts as we uploaded this past nights. This one I'm not sure if I'll upload or not because it's a very short condensed version, but no less for post games going forward. You guys can check it out on Spotify, Apple, Google, you name it. Check it out. Let's go Mets, baby. And this is your guy Wardy signing out. Peace.